Welcome to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. As always, I want to thank you in a very special way for choosing our show. You're the reason we are here. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Omwami Edwin Sifuna has officially resigned from the ODM party. And from today, I believe the best person to take over should be the chairpersons of the president worship team. And I want to propose that either Pondo Kaluma or Robert Alai should take over as the Secretary General, because Edwin Sifuna has just revealed that he cannot reconcile his conscience with what ODM is doing, especially in regards to the relationship between ODM and the UDA and the 10-point agenda that they signed. Now, Edwin Sifuna has left behind a fiery speech, and I want us to look at that because his speeches really targeted his boss, Raila Odinga, a man he says he respects, and he has really exposed him. Allow me very fast, ladies and gentlemen, to request you, because we have an urgent need. This young boy here is called Peter. Peter is a Form 2 student. Now, Peter lost his father 2 or 3 months ago, and he's telling me that ever since his dad passed on, things have been very difficult, especially paying school fees. So he requested me to present his case to our team so that he can be assisted. The problem is that he came within a short time because they were beginning exams, and he was at home. He had been sent home for school fees. So even before I presented his case, we made an arrangement, and I requested the principal to allow him to take exam because there was no time at all. And I promised the school that I will present his case so that he get assisted the way we have always done it. Please, we are doing this challenge from 50 shillings, 100, 1,000, whatever you have, so that we can help Peter, because we are his last hope, without which he's going to drop out of school. And he's telling me, I'm the firstborn, I really want to work hard to help my parents. Is that we want to ensure that whatever I promised the school, I don't abuse that trust that they gave me to allow Peter to be in school. So kindly help us raise this 20,000, and I'll be very grateful. May God bless you as you plan to give. Ladies and gentlemen, Edwin Sifuna attended an interview with Yvonne Okwara, and Edwin has summarized that is the final speech, and I don't think he will get another chance to express why he is abandoning the ODM party. There is an NDC meeting, National Delegates Conference meeting, that is scheduled somewhere in October, and that is where they are going to review the policies, the MOU, and they're going to take a position whether they are supporting William Ruto and to prepare for 2027. I want us to look at the fiery interview, or what I just call speeches, because I just categorized them in 3 folds. And I want us to begin by looking at what Edwin Sifuna is telling Raila. Number 1, Sifuna is revealing to us that there is a team within the ODM party that was selected to review the MOU with the UDA party. And you can imagine that Edwin Sifuna is the Secretary General, but he requested Raila Odinga that I don't believe in that MOU, I have rubbished it, and therefore I don't want to be part of it. Yet this is the Secretary General. Without much ado, listen to Edwin Sifuna revealing this.
Recently, we had another meeting, and there was a proposal to have a team to review the implementation of this MOU. I have asked respectfully that I be left out of that team because I have already declared this MOU dead. I have already done so publicly. So there is no point. I'm not a mortician. There's no point of me going to go through a document that I've already declared dead. And the reason I declared this MOU dead is because the initial argument for entering into this MOU was twofold. First of all, it was for the sustenance of life. For the sustenance of life, that we were losing people unnecessarily. That can we all agree that this is not something we need to continue doing? We need to stop killing our people. That was the first argument. The second argument was the sustenance of the democratic state. So Ruto is getting his end of the bargain because the democratic state is being sustained at least until 2027. But our people are not getting there. They're still being killed. So on the day that Albert Ojwang dies in a police cell, to me, this agreement is dead because it doesn't matter what else you do, Albert will not be able to enjoy that.
Okay.
That is it. You can imagine this is the Secretary General, and they sit there to review their MOU. So if the party comes with the position that we are now supporting William Ruto fully, then they will give this to Sifuna because Sifuna is the Secretary General and is the ODM, the official spokesperson. So he's already distanced himself, rubbished this MOU, and he's saying, I've done it in public, and therefore I don't want to pretend that I'm part of it. Do you think he will accept to read the resolution if they come up with a resolution that they are supporting William Ruto? Edwin says, when they signed this MOU, it was a twofold assignment. One was to stop killings of Gen Zs, and number two was to sustain what they called a democratic government. So William Ruto is getting his part of the bargain because the democratic government is sustained, and you've seen those members of the president worship team saying we have stabilized the government, but the people are being killed, and Edwin feels betrayed because William Ruto is not obeying his part of the bargain, yet Raila and his team are getting this. So Edwin's phone is saying, I'm not boarding, you go and review that MOU, I don't believe in it. Yet he is the official party spokesperson, he's the Secretary General. Tell me how you still think that Edwin Sifuna is still the Secretary General of the ODM. In other words, he has defied Raila. Anamwambia mimi siendi. And he's giving reasons. And this is not the first time he's saying it. He said it before. Number two, Edwin Sifuna has told of Raila that ODM is confused because they stood on a democratic platform. And Edwin Sifuna is just wondering how, number one, they have given some people to the government they call experts to try and sustain this bottom-up economic agenda. Number two, Edwin Sifuna is wondering just how an ODM member of parliament can afford to sponsor a bill in parliament to limit the rights of people, rights to demonstration and picketing. And with that, Edwin Sifuna is saying this ODM is a shadow of its former self, and Edwin Sifuna apologizing to the ODM members. You can imagine the ODM members. He's telling them, I'm really sorry because we have betrayed you. Kindly listen to this.
Is ODM headed in the right direction with the current arrangement and the current status?
Let's just say that there's a lot of confusion. I have told my party leader that there was a time when it was very easy to be SG of ODM. You would wake me up in the middle of the night and ask me anything, because what we agreed is that you can compromise on tactics, but you can never compromise on your values. There is things that ODM stands for. If you woke me up in the middle of the night and asked me my position on devolution, my position on rights under Article 37, for instance, I would give you an answer straight away. But right now, there is a lot of confusion because I come to these shows and to the media and in those public barazas, and I struggle to explain that we're the same political party. Then you will see a member of ODM who maybe used to hold a premier position, now is a cabinet secretary, say the exact same opposite. It leaves our support very, very confused. And I want to apologize to members of ODM today for all the confusion we as a leadership have caused, because it is very difficult now to discern the position of ODM on major issues. And that is the biggest sadness, because it should be easy. It should be easy. When a member of ODM proposes a bill saying, oh, we want to limit the rights under Article 37. What is ODM without Article 37? What is ODM without street protests? What is ODM? ODM is a movement that has been built on the strength of a people. So you cannot be the ones telling us today that, oh, you are sponsoring a bill to limit the rights under Article 37. We swore to this constitution. And that is where confusion comes in for people like me, because I now can no longer pronounce myself authoritatively on the position of a party when it comes to the rights under Article 37, you know? And that is where the difficulty begins.
Now, what Edwin Sifuna is saying in essence is that the ODM leader, a man he says he respects, his mentor, a man who really mentored him. He says, I've only known one party leader and one party. And when I got to this party, there were things, the fundamental beliefs that we had. And Edwin Sifuna believes that if you see somebody like Junet Mohammed sponsoring a bill to limit people's rights to picketing, rights to demonstration, then he knows something is wrong. ODM has been, known or was established to fight for and champion for people's rights. They've been known for picketing and demonstrations and protest. And I'm not saying that they go back to protest. I'm just saying that they allow those who have decided to protest to use the very, very laws in the constitution that they used, not trying to limit them. And according to Sifuna, he believes people like Junet Mohammed are working for their master, who is Raila Odinga, and is revealing, telling Raila, this party is confused. We are, hoodwinking Kenyans. Tunawadanganya. Tell me, with this, whether you still believe that Edwin Sifuna will still remain the ODM Secretary General. Number 3, Edwin Sifuna has joined the calls for one-term president, and is saying William Ruto should be removed as soon as yesterday, that his removal is their priority. And is saying he can be a one-term or a half-term president. One term if they wait up to 2027, half-term if they decide to impeach him. And is speaking the language of Wamunyoro. I'm sure Rigathi is over the moon with joy after listening to what Sifuna is saying. Well, listen to this and tell me why Wamunyoro would not be happy.
I am telling you, personally as Sifuna, we want a government that will respect the rule of law, that will respect human rights and the dignity of the people of Kenya.
Does this government do that?
This government surely does not. This government is killing the people. This government does not listen to the people. This is the worst possible government. If you go back to the spirit of the Constitution in 2010, this is the worst possible government we would have envisaged. It's the direct opposite of what we wanted. So I hear William Ruto has succeeded in bullying these guys in the opposition, Kina Kalonzo, into, he says, these people just say one term, they don't have any agenda. I want William Ruto to know that his removal from office is a national priority agenda. It is the only agenda, because his government is totally opposed to everything that this constitution stands for. And I want these people to be bold. Don't be bullied. You don't have to, he wants to push you into a corner where you're discussing markets. Tell Albert Ojwang about markets and roads. In my ranking, removing Ruto is top. It's even higher than getting a second terminal at JKI or dualing Malaba to Mombasa.
And how would we do that?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Let's talk about that, because there's those calls for one term.
Yeah.
The president, on the other hand, calls those calls unconstitutional.
They are not unconstitutional.
So,
these terms are granted by the public. I've told you we are the sovereign. Yeah. If we decide to give you one term, we'll give you a term. If we decide to give you half a term, we impeach you. I mean, it is in the Constitution. And you can also resign midway from public pressure. We have seen it happen. We have seen it happen that governments have collapsed under the weight of the pressure of the people. Because once people have rejected you, they have rejected you. It is a constitutional way to remove somebody midterm. Yeah.
And one of those would be impeachment, as you said.
Correct. So what we are saying is this. After the protest of June 24th, there was an impasse. And for me, I remember sitting, we were also very frustrated. We were saying, can this Gen Z finish the job? Can they finish the job? Because the country cannot just stay in limbo.
By finish the job, you mean?
Kick him out. That was the rallying call. They were to kick Ruto out.
And yet,
this is what I'm saying.
For those who watched my video, and I think you've seen the videos that are going viral, as he was saying this on national TV, you know, he's the Secretary General of the party. The chairperson of the party, Gladys Wanga, who is the Homa Bay governor, was breathing fire, praising Ruto and attacking Wamunyoro, asking Wamunyoro, tell us your agenda. Don't make Ruto one term as your agenda. And he asserted that they are going to support William Ruto and they have no regrets. So the chairperson is saying they are supporting William Ruto. The Secretary General is saying this is a collapsed government. This is a passing cloud. And he believes that there is no any chance for William Ruto in 2027. The Secretary General and the chairperson, those who sit at the highest decision-making, table, are speaking from two sides. And I know some of you will say that, maybe Raila has sent Edwin Sifuna, maybe Raila is using Edwin Sifuna to check William Ruto. No. Edwin, from what I hear today, Edwin is not boarding. If it was true that Raila is using him, he wouldn't have refused to be part of the team that is reviewing the MOU, because he believes, it is like he knows well that the review process is a mere formality. It is like this exercise that Raila told us, that I'm going around to get the opinions of the people, yet he knew very well that he had decided that he was joining the government after losing the AU seat, and pretended that there was a 10-point agenda, yet it was something that had been decided long ago. Ladies and gentlemen, please convince me whether you still feel that Edwin Sifuna, with all this, will still remain the ODM Secretary General. Because everything that happens in ODM goes against his will, his wishes, and his conscience. And I think Edwin has revealed that even the very little thread that was still, holding them with Raila Bold has now been cut. He's speaking the language of Wamunyoro, he's speaking the language of the people, and Edwin believes that maybe his boss now are the people of Nairobi and the people of Kenya, and not really Raila Bold. Tell me why Wamunyoro should not be happy. Tell me why Rigathi Gachagua should not be celebrating in USA. Tell me why. And how do you feel people like Samuel Atandi, people like Nyawangaya, Gladys Wanga, people like Opondo Kaluma, and Robert Alai feel now? In fact, I know from where they are now saying, "Uyu waende tu." And as we approach 2027, ODM will remain a party of the Luo community. And if Raila wants people whom he can control, let him appoint someone who is a member of the president worship team to take over from Edwin Sifuna. What do you think, ladies and gentlemen? Who do you support? Do you think Sifuna is making the right direction? What do you make out of that fiery speech, the fiery arguments, the fiery interview? Because he has exposed to the ODM, he has actually indirectly or directly attacked Raila Bold and exposed the fallacy. I think from there we're going to see what happens. And I hope it will not turn out to be like the former Magerer. Na ile mbiu tuliona. Share with me your comments on the comment section.